Back, and I'm in mid-conversation with Representative Bob Gibbs. He's a member of Congress, and he represents Ohio's 18th Congressional District. Congressman, you are, amongst other things, a small business owner.
Yes, that's true.
And small business owners, it would seem to me, are taking a beating in this administration, in this manner at least. An awful lot of your fellow small business owners report their income on Subchapter S as personal income.
Or limited liability companies, and they pass through their personal 1040. That's right.
Yeah, well, and that'll bring them easily, oftentimes, to $250,000, because you're including the business. And that, according to Obama, makes them, quote, rich, end quote, and subject to, these people must be very surprised to find out how rich they are.
Well, this is it's one of the issues where the president has no understanding. Maybe it's because he's never ran a business. Yeah. But most businesses and small businesses, including myself, I started a farming operation, and when the years we made some money, we plowed it back in the business to grow the business and reinvest in new technology and all that. And your tax return might say that you're at a certain level of income, but I can guarantee you that most business people, small businesses, that money goes back into the business to grow jobs, and they're just not living high on the hog, to say. And I don't think the president understands that. And taxing, increasing taxes on small businesses like that will have a negative impact on the economy. And it kind of goes back to my old rule: if you want less of something, tax it more. If you want more of something, tax it less.
Yeah, well, because the president says he's all for small business and wants them to prosper, but what he does is antithetical to that. And small businesses are the biggest employers in the country.
Yeah, they're the engine of our economy.
Yeah, and he just doesn't seem to get that. Oh well.
Yeah, I think I've always kind of thought this, one of the prerequisites for anybody that's especially going to be president of the United States, you ought to have some experience running a business or be involved in business, and unfortunately, it's sad to say he really hasn't, and I just he has a lack of understanding how it really works, and you have to, if you're a business person, you have to reinvest back in your business. You have to plow those profits back in. You just can't live on your equity or your depreciation.
No. Well, what is your view of the agriculture business overall in the country these days?
Well, agriculture, it's big business. It's really the largest industry when you look at it, because all the impact of jobs off agriculture. When a farmer like such myself, when we plant in the spring, plant corn or soybeans, and it's harvested in the fall, you just think about the impact that commodity, that product down the line, all the jobs it creates. But agriculture can do a lot, obviously, for our economy. It creates a lot of jobs, and also for the environment. We're doing a lot of things in agriculture to enhance water quality, enhance the environment, and we've got to make sure that that's one thing American agriculture does is on our we have a trade deficit, but we have definitely a surplus of dollars exported for agricultural products, and that helps lower our overall trade deficit. So, agriculture is a highly capital-intensive business, and if we're going to tax, farmers, small businesses, and they're going to have less capital to invest and create less jobs will be created.
Well, one of the things that I find remarkable is how relatively few people, in the agriculture business, feed all the rest of us and have enough left over to export. And you go to unstable countries, like in Africa, where the potential for agriculture is great because they've got, the warmth and the water and good soil and everything, and yet they're starving.
I think you put a lot of that to our free market system we have here. Farmers, just like all other businesses, the way our system's made this country great is the opportunity. Everybody has an opportunity to succeed and fail, and that's how it works. And I think in American agriculture, you're absolutely right. Less than 2% of American population is farmers are producing food. Basically less than 10% of disposable income goes for food here in this country. So it might be the lowest in the world. It's right there at the top. Our food costs are low compared to our per capita income. And American agriculture is really a great success story, and we need to build on it. American agriculture produces more on per acre basis than ever, and which is a good thing because our acreage over the years has declined. Gone for urban sprawl and everything else, but it's American agriculture has been doing fairly well the last few years. We've had good prices, but we're subject to farmers are subject to adverse weather conditions. Obviously, no control over that, and also public policy decisions. Something happened anywhere around the world overnight and change things. And I'll never forget back when I started back in the late 70s. We had we called it the Carter embargo. The Soviet Union, we quit shipping grain to the Soviet Union because of their invasion of Afghanistan, and farmers paid the price single-handedly, basically, for that embargo, while at the same time we were still selling other products to the Soviet Union at the time, and agriculture was singled out. So what I'm trying to say is, there's things that can happen to the prices that farmers receive because we don't set our prices. It's we raise commodities, the world market sets it, and things can happen overnight and weather conditions that can affect us. So it's important, I think, to have a program in place to make sure that we protect the infrastructure of rural America.
Oh, yes. Well, you mentioned the Soviet Union. Here in the United States, if you've got one pig and your neighbor has two pigs, you go down to the county extension agent and say, how do I get myself another pig? So the way my neighbor has. And in the Soviet Union, what you do is you call up the bureaucrat and you say, come over here and shoot my neighbor's other pig. that's
yeah, I guess those kind of economies or government structures, it's equal outcomes, and in America, what's made our country great over 200 plus years is everybody has an opportunity, and to succeed to your best of your abilities, and not government telling equal outcomes and trying to pick winners or losers. And unfortunately, this administration moves towards that way, picking winners and losers and equal outcomes. And when you do that, you're limiting the opportunities for people to have.
Yes, indeed. Well, Congressman Gibbs, I want to thank you for giving us so much of your valuable time. I really enjoyed it, and I hope we can look forward in the future to having you back again as our guest.
Okay, great to be with you. Talk to you later.
Yes, indeed. God bless you. Congressman Bob Gibbs, ladies and gentlemen, representative of Ohio's 18th